Archangel Michael says, something is unfolding faster than you think. The shame they once thought they had buried is now rising, and your name is the light that's exposing it. They are embarrassed not because they regret what they did, but because the truth is finally louder than their lies. This isn't just another tale of betrayal. It's the divine unveiling of everything they tried to hide with fake smiles and hollow praises. Everyone who once doubted you is now slowly turning their eyes toward the real story. Behind closed doors, they whispered things, they planned moves, and they used your silence as a shield. They thought you were weak because you didn't strike back. But your strength wasn't in retaliation, it was in divine patience. Now the curtain has dropped. And the people who laughed at you in secret are now whispering about them. The one who mocked you is now the one being pitted. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says, this is not just revenge, it is revelation. Heaven has aligned everything so perfectly that no one can deny the truth anymore. It's too obvious, too loud, and too undeniable. They once sat confidently, believing they had manipulated everyone around you. But now they lower their heads, avoiding the very people they tried to turn against you. Because every eye they sought as an ally now looks at them with judgment. The same room they once walked into proudly now becomes the room they fear entering. The stares, the whispers, the glances, they're all a reflection of the truth that's been exposed. The weight of guilt has begun to press on their shoulders. You were never meant to fight this battle with your hands. God was fighting it in silence with power you couldn't see. And now the heavens have opened a moment of truth they can't run from. Type Amen to get blessing 444. You didn't lose your dignity, even when they tried to drag you into their mud. You stood tall. You remained quiet. You trusted timing instead of revenge. And that's why this moment is so powerful. This is the reward for not losing yourself while they lost theirs. And now the reward is not gold or silver, it is their humiliation under heaven's light. Someone you never expected has now turned against them. They were loyal to your betrayer once, but they've switched sides. Because even they can see how low that person went. They tried to trap you in stories they made up. But now they're the character people talk about with disgust. Your silence built a mirror that's now showing them what they've become. Type Amen to get blessing 555. A conversation happened recently, one you weren't part of. But your name came up, and it wasn't in shame. It was in awe. Because the person who once painted you as desperate is now being seen as desperate themselves. They tried to use your pain as entertainment. They laughed at your tears. But the same people who once laughed with them now shake their heads in disappointment at what they did. They didn't expect this twist. They never thought karma would come so loudly. But it has. And you're standing in the center of it, not as a victim, but as a testimony. Their actions weren't just low, they were deeply cruel. And heaven made sure no lie they tell now can clean their stained image. Type Amen to get blessing 222. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. A message is going around. A truth that once hid in shadows is now dancing in daylight. They can't escape the eyes anymore. They once used your kindness as a stepping stone. Now they're being stepped over by the same crowd they once thought they controlled. Their manipulation has turned into their isolation. You are not the same person who cried in silence. You are now the one everyone wants to understand, the one people are saying they were right all along about. And that's why they're embarrassed. They know it's over for them socially. Their fake personality has shattered, and all that remains is the exposed, weak version they fought to hide. They hoped you'd break. Instead, they're the ones breaking. Type Amen to get blessing 888. They're watching your rise now, quietly. They won't clap. They won't congratulate. But deep inside, they know your elevation is the cost of their deception. People who once cheered them on are now asking questions like, how could they do that to someone like you? Their answers are stuttered. Their guilt is louder than their excuses. They never imagined that the very lies they whispered would turn into winds that carry your truth. But now, everywhere they go, they feel it. The atmosphere has changed. Your name used to be the one they tried to stain. But now it's their own name they wish they could erase from the mouths of those who know what they did. Type Amen to get blessing 717. The place they once walked proudly now feels like a battlefield. Every stare feels like judgment. Every laugh feels like it's about them. Because it is. They wanted to dim your light. But your resilience made you glow brighter. And now their fear isn't of you, but of the image they see of themselves in everyone's eyes. The truth was never silent. It was simply waiting for its moment. And that moment is now, unfolding in real time with every exposed whisper and every shaken friendship. There's no place for them to hide anymore. Their apologies wouldn't be enough. Because this isn't about words, it's about character, and their mask has fallen off completely. Type Amen to get blessing 111. You didn't have to expose them. The universe did it for you. Piece by piece, day by day, truth overruled illusion. They underestimated what grace could do. They thought because you weren't fighting, you were finished. But your power was never in noise, it was in faith. They mocked you in public. But now they're being discussed in private. And what's being said about them is nothing they can repair with smiles or small talk. You don't need to address them. You don't even need to face them. Because heaven has already judged the matter and placed favor in your corner. Type Amen to get blessing 999. They wake up each day wondering who else found out. Every phone buzz, every message alert, they fear it's another consequence of what they did. The one who told them everything was under control is now running too. The truth has grown wings. And it's flying faster than their lies. You became a mirror. Not by speaking, but by staying pure. Now, their reflection haunts them. They remember what they did, but more importantly, they remember how you responded with silence. And that silence is now speaking louder than their entire campaign of deceit. Type Amen to get blessing 144. The people who once called them strong now use the word coward. Because strength isn't in deception, it's in honesty. And you've had that from the start. Archangel Michael says, do not be surprised by the apologies you never receive. Their pride won't allow it. But their regret will burn silently. There will be a moment soon when they will try to rewrite the story. They'll try to befriend those who now stand with you. But it won't work. The truth is sealed. You are not just surviving this, you are being lifted by it. You are becoming the proof that light always returns, even after storms. Type Amen to get blessing 303. A celebration is coming, not one with music or balloons, but a celebration of truth, of clarity, of divine vindication. You earned it without revenge. The whispers you hear now are not against you, they're for you. People are beginning to see what they didn't want to believe before. Your dignity shook the heavens. It moved divine forces to take your name from ashes and carve it into strength. This is your era. Not a return to the old, but a divine step into what was always waiting for you beyond their schemes. Type Amen to get blessing 626. They can no longer tell their version of the story without someone interrupting with facts. The illusion is breaking, and they're feeling it deeply. You were not naive. You were not blind. You were wise enough to step back and let truth do the speaking. Their circle is shrinking. Their supporters are silent. Their face, once full of pride, is now shaded in embarrassment. You have become the evidence that justice moves slowly but surely. And this is only the beginning. Type Amen to get blessing 555. You will not need to lift a single word. Because your life will continue to speak the truth they tried to bury. Archangel Michael says, "The one who laughed at your pain is now crying in secret. The one who boasted of victories over you now hides in shame. Let them watch. Let them shrink. Let them remember. Because they created the path to their own downfall the moment they betrayed a pure soul. And now, the sky turns in your favor. Because you didn't give up. And heaven never forgot." Type Amen to get blessing 888. Their own guilt is following them like a shadow they can't outrun. Every place they visit reminds them of who they pretended to be and who they truly are now exposed to be. The ground beneath them feels thinner because the truth has shaken their false foundation. They scroll through social media wondering who knows what. They avoid group chats they once dominated. Their voice is softer now, not because they're humble, but because fear has replaced their arrogance. The lies they created were meant to bury you. But instead, those same lies built the platform you now stand on. Their effort to damage you only polished your truth. There is a shift happening in the hearts of the people around you. Those who once doubted you are seeking your presence now. Because they finally see that what was hidden behind their words is now loud and visible. Type Amen to get blessing 121. People are noticing how calm you remain in the middle of the storm they created. That calmness is what's making your presence so powerful now. It's what's making them so uncomfortable. They can't joke the same way anymore. They can't gossip without guilt. Every conversation about you becomes a mirror of their own betrayal. And now, silence isn't your weakness, it's your victory. It echoes louder than their loudest words ever did. It confirms what you've known all along: God always reveals. There's no need to confront them. The confrontation is happening without your voice. It's happening in their sleepless nights and the conversations they can't control. Type Amen to get blessing 939. You were underestimated in a way that only made you stronger. Their mockery, their arrogance, their scheming, it all served your growth. And now they're watching your rise with trembling hearts. Someone who used to believe in them has now turned their back. Not because you told them to, but because they saw the truth on their own. Truth reveals itself in time. They fear your peace now. Because they know what it means. It means you've moved beyond them, and they're stuck in a web of consequences they spun themselves. Everything they said about you is now bouncing back onto them. And they can't stop it. Not with lies. Not with fake tears. Not with apologies too late to matter. Type Amen to get blessing 777. There will be another revelation soon. One more layer of their schemes will be exposed. It will come from someone close to them, someone they never expected would speak. That person has held the truth for too long. But now, even they can't protect the guilty anymore. They've seen enough. And what they reveal will cause even more to turn against your betrayer. The embarrassment they feel now is only the beginning. What's coming next will shake every false structure they built. Their image will crumble before their eyes. They won't understand how it all flipped so quickly. But you will. Because you knew the seeds you sowed were pure, and the harvest is now arriving in divine timing. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They are losing allies. One by one. Quietly. And with every lost connection, their world becomes smaller and smaller. You have become untouchable, not because of pride, but because of purpose. You have risen in grace while they've fallen in deceit. They'll try to reinvent themselves. They'll try to act like nothing happened. But it's too late. People remember now. The whispers that once broke your heart are now breaking their image. And the same crowd they tried to win over is now watching you with admiration. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. This is your divine reward. Not just because you were wronged, but because you didn't let that wrongness turn your heart bitter. You stayed pure. You are now the story people use as a lesson. You are the example. The proof. That nothing hidden stays hidden forever. Someone very influential has taken notice of your growth. They're observing you silently. Soon, they'll reach out, not to pity you, but to elevate you. They feel drawn to your strength, your patience, your truth. What they offer next will feel like a door opening where you thought there was only a wall. Type Amen to get blessing 606. Archangel Michael says, you are stepping into a light that no one can block anymore. Their shadows can't touch your glow. Their shame cannot stain your grace. Heaven is preparing something for you that can only be delivered now that justice has been served. The delay wasn't denial, it was protection. Divine timing is never late. The person who caused the most damage is already being whispered about. And not in the way they used to boast. Their name is losing honor. Their influence is fading. You, on the other hand, are becoming a symbol of truth, of survival, of spiritual strength that cannot be bought or broken. Type Amen to get blessing 343. They feel surrounded by the very things they created. Lies, guilt, betrayal, it's all coming back. Every seed they planted has grown into vines that now wrap around them tightly. They walk into a room and feel the shift. People don't look at them the same. Smiles are shorter. Conversations feel colder. And they know why. Your light didn't just expose them, it illuminated others. Now people are careful with you. Respectful. Protective. Because they've seen what happens when someone tries to hurt someone who's divinely covered. They'll never say it out loud, but they wish they had never played that game with your name. Because now, even mentioning you brings them discomfort. Type Amen to get blessing 7777. Every time they hear your name, it's attached to growth. Blessings. New connections. Healing. They hear about your rising and feel their own fall. That's why they're embarrassed. Not because they're sorry. But because everyone knows. This season isn't about proving them wrong anymore. It's about walking in the right direction and never looking back. And as you keep moving forward, doors will open. Ones they tried to shut. Connections will bloom. Ones they tried to block. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. You don't need revenge. You need to keep going. Because you're being watched, but this time, it's by those ready to support, not destroy. Archangel Michael says, there's a celebration coming to your life that will make even your enemies pause. It won't be loud. But it will be undeniable. They'll see the invitations. They'll hear about the blessings. And they'll wonder why it's all happening for you. But the answer was always written, you did not fold. You endured. You believed. You released bitterness. And now you will receive what is yours. Type Amen to get blessing 3333. They are haunted by your resilience. They thought you would need them. But now they need your forgiveness. They want to speak to you. But they know that you've changed. They feel the shift in your energy. You no longer entertain what breaks your spirit. You are not who you were when they betrayed you. You've healed in ways they didn't think were possible. And that's their true loss. Not your friendship, but your evolution. You walked through fire and came out glowing. Now they can't look at you without feeling the burn of their own actions. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. The universe has wrapped a shield around your destiny. And anyone who tries to manipulate it again will face consequences faster than ever before. They were a test. And you passed. You are now being enrolled into a season of divine favor, open roads, and heavenly surprises. Let them be embarrassed. Let them feel it. Because what they tried to bury has bloomed into something beautiful. And this is only the beginning. The best part of your story is still being written. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. Their biggest regret isn't just what they did. It's realizing they did it to someone chosen, someone watched over, someone protected by divine order. They crossed boundaries not built by man, but by heaven. And now, every step they take reminds them of that mistake. You're not walking with revenge in your heart. You're walking with power in your soul. That's why everything about you feels elevated now, even your silence feels like thunder to them. There are conversations happening in rooms you've never entered. Your name is being mentioned not in gossip, but in admiration. Even people who once sided against you are now shifting toward your energy. They tried to block your light, but it only made it shine stronger. And now they're shrinking in rooms they once ruled. Because truth has stripped them of everything they pretended to be. Type Amen to get blessing 50-50. There's a new opportunity about to present itself to you. One that only arrived because the false ones were removed from your circle. This opportunity requires clean hands and a pure heart, which you've maintained all along. You won't have to apply for it. It will come to you. You won't have to chase it. You'll simply need to receive it. The person offering it will do so because they saw your truth. They heard the story. They know you didn't retaliate. And that makes them trust you. Meanwhile, the one who betrayed you is watching from a distance, realizing that every blessing coming your way is out of their reach now. Type Amen to get blessing 1144. Your strength is now a testimony. They tried to paint you as emotional, unstable, or unworthy. But now everyone sees clearly, it wasn't you. It was them. Their fake loyalty has been revealed. The masks have fallen. And what's left is someone standing in the ruins of their own false story. But you're rising. Not with bitterness. Not with vengeance. But with destiny. Every place where they slandered your name will soon witness your elevation. They won't be able to avoid it. You're becoming the evidence that grace still wins. Type Amen to get blessing 80-80. They will hear about your success from people they once gossiped with. Their faces will fall when they realize you've surpassed everything they hoped you'd fail at. They will want to reach out, but pride will stop them. And even if they did, the door has already closed. You've forgiven, but you haven't forgotten. And that memory is your compass. It keeps you moving forward while they remain stuck in the past they created. Your story has shifted. You are no longer the one healing, you are the one leading. And your energy speaks louder than any confrontation ever could. Type Amen to get blessing 2323. They once said you wouldn't make it without them. But now they're watching you thrive in silence. That's what stings the most, they weren't needed after all. They created rumors and wrapped them in charm. But truth doesn't need makeup. It reveals itself at the right time. And this time, that truth has chosen to shine through you. Every room you enter carries a presence that humbles even your enemies. That is your justice. Not screaming. Not shouting. But simply walking in the truth they tried to destroy. Type Amen to get blessing 4141. There's a place you're being prepared for now. It's higher. It's more peaceful. And it has no space for the weight of betrayal. Heaven has declared the closing of an old chapter. You're not just turning the page, you're starting a whole new book. The same people who once celebrated your pain will now feel discomfort in your presence. That's not revenge, it's divine reversal. What was meant for your destruction has become your confirmation. And what was said behind your back is now being exposed under the light. Type Amen to get blessing 3030. There will be a time when they sit in silence thinking of what they did. Not because they miss you, but because they lost something irreplaceable, your presence. You brought peace into their storm. You brought honesty into their lies. And now, without you, they are surrounded by the very chaos they once called control. Let them feel the loss. Let them sit with the truth. Because the moment you stopped showing up was the moment everything fell apart for them. And still, you moved on, not with bitterness, but with blessing. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. This is your time now. A season not defined by revenge, but by results. Your actions will speak. Your energy will inspire. Your journey will heal others. They were a distraction. A delay. A disguise in the form of a friend, a lover, a supporter. But heaven saw the mask before you did. And heaven removed it when it was time. That removal hurt, but it also opened your eyes. And those open eyes now see everything clearly. You're not in mourning anymore. You're in movement. And your next chapter will silence every rumor, every lie, and every jealous whisper. Type Amen to get blessing 7272. You will receive calls, messages, invitations. But not all are meant to be accepted. Because not everyone who claps for you is genuine. Discernment is your shield now. Use it. Protect your peace. Protect your new position. The very tables they tried to deny you a seat at are now being flipped. You're not just being invited, you're being honored. And the ones who excluded you will watch it happen. Not because you forced it, but because heaven ordained it. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. There will be rewards coming through strange paths. A stranger will bless you. An unexpected door will open. You'll remember this moment when it does. Everything they tried to delay is now rushing to you. The delays were only divine setups for greater alignment. Your name is safe now. Covered. Guarded. And their attempts to speak against you now return to them as echoes of shame. So rise, chosen one. Your glow cannot be dimmed anymore. And your truth has already won the war. Type Amen to get blessing 2525. Let them be embarrassed. Let them retreat. Let them feel the weight of their own decisions. You are walking with angels now. You are being guided into rooms where your name has already been honored before your arrival. Archangel Michael says, do not return to what broke you. What's coming is greater than what you've lost. What's ahead is more than what was stolen. Keep walking. Keep glowing. Keep thriving. The ones who laughed will now watch. And the ones who doubted will now follow.